Hello, I'm Dr. Brad Carroll, and I want to welcome you to ASTR 1040 Elementary Astronomy Online. In this introductory video, I want to tell you how the course works. I want to walk you through the syllabus and just explain some of the things you'll be finding during the course of the semester. So let's get started, and I'm going to bring up the course home screen on Weber State's Canvas system. Here we go. So here is the course home screen. And this is, as I said, ASTR 1040 Elementary Astronomy Online. There's some information. My name, Dr. Brad Carroll, my office. It is in room 336 of Tracy Hall if you want to stop by for an in-person meeting. And here is my phone number of my office. I do have office hours. I will be in my office Wednesdays from 3:30 to 4:30. But since this is an online class, you may find it more convenient to have a Zoom meeting. And so if you'd like to set up a Zoom meeting, we can do that by appointment. Just contact me and we can set up a time for that. And the best way to contact me is through the Canvas mail program. And if you go over here to the left side of the screen, you'll see that there's this inbox. And if you click on that, that will take you to the Canvas mail program. So, welcome to Elementary Astronomy Online. And the most important thing to do right off the bat is to read the syllabus. So I'm going to bring up the syllabus and let's go through that together. Here it is. And there's the basic course information. This is fall 2021 semester. But here's my name, office number, telephone, and the textbook. It is Explorations, the 8th edition by Tom Arney and Stephen Schneider. I chose this because I think this is the best book for self-learning. And that's the sort of learning you're going to be doing on this online course. Now, the 8th edition is not the most recent edition. That's the 9th edition. The 9th edition, though, is not a bound copy, so you can't sell it back to the bookstore if you're thinking of doing that. So you can buy the 9th edition, the newest one, the 8th edition, the previous edition. If you can get that cheaper, that's fine. Get whatever edition of this text works best for you, and you can find it at a cheap price. There are no codes that you need for the course. There's nothing else online that isn't on the Canvas site. So let's go on down. And, you know, the science of astronomy just talks about the whole universe. We're going to be studying the whole universe, everything from the center of the Earth on out. And we're going to be studying how it is now, how it got that way. And we're also going to be looking at the science that has let us learn about all of this. So here's an outline of the course. The course is really split into 4 sections. And the first section is on astronomy and how we learn about the universe. You know, astronomy is one of the oldest of the sciences, and it has a very rich history. So we'll be learning about how some of the earliest civilizations thought about the universe. And we'll learn about how those ideas were overthrown, there were revolutions that happened, and how we've come to our present understanding. And also in this first part of the course, we'll be learning about the science of astronomy. You know, the universe is filled with objects, stars, and some of those stars are orbiting each other. We have planets that are moving around the sun, and all that is held together by gravity. And so we have to learn about the laws of motion and the law of gravity. We'll also learn about the laws of light, because all astronomers can do is look at the light from distant objects. You know, except for the objects in our solar system, everything else is too far away to send a space probe out to study. And so we have to rely on just looking at light. And you'll learn about how astronomers make the most of that opportunity. The second part of the course is the solar system, and we'll learn about all of the planets, the 8 planets of the solar system. We'll learn about the other objects that are in our solar system, the meteors and comets and asteroids, as well as dwarf planets and an Oort cloud of comets that orbits far from the sun. After that, we'll move on to the third part, which is about our sun and other stars. You'll find out that our sun is just an average star. It's average in mass, it's average in brightness, and we'll learn about the great range of other stars that there can be. And we'll also learn about how stars change during their lifetimes, how stars are born from great clouds of gas and dust, and how they change as they live their lives, burning their nuclear fuel in the centers of the stars. And finally, we'll learn about how they die. And they may die in, like our sun will, by just puffing off its outer surface layers to become a white dwarf star, or more massive stars will explode in a supernova explosion to become a neutron star, or that most exotic of objects we're going to be studying, they may become a black hole. Finally, in the last part of the course, we'll be talking about galaxies and cosmology. You know, our sun is just one of several hundred billion stars in our own galaxy, and there are several hundred billion other galaxies in the universe. And we're going to learn about what galaxies are like. We're going to learn about how they're collected into groups and how they change through time and where they came from. We'll learn about how the universe is expanding. And so all of the galaxies that are moving away from all the other galaxies. We'll learn how the universe started from a very hot, dense beginning and expanded since then in a process we call the Big Bang. So we'll be learning all about this. Now, if you're new to online courses, here's a link. I'll just click that there. It takes you to how to get started with your online class if you're new to online classes. So let's start and see how this course works. Here's a description of the course. The course is broken into 14 modules, and you'll have one module per week. And each module is a folder, and inside that folder, you will find, first of all, a weekly introduction, a weekly video that's just introducing you to what's in that module. I'll include any latest astronomy news, and I make those every Sunday before the module opens up on Monday. So you get the latest news from astronomy. Also, there is a written introduction to the module, and that just emphasizes the important ideas in the module. And also, there might be some things that I want to tell you, and you are responsible for those, that are in the introduction to the module. So please read those. There are homework quizzes, and those homework quizzes you'll be taking on your computer. And there's a series of 20 fill-in-the-blank matching math true-false questions that you'll be completing online. And it's important that you must take every homework quiz twice. All total, both of them total up to 100 points, but the first one is equal to 20 points, and that's a practice. You get to practice the homework, and then you answer the questions, submit your answers, and you'll receive back your score and what the answers were. So what you should do is write down those answers, all of them, not just the ones you missed, but write down the answers, and then you can take the homework quiz again. And this is the retake, and it's worth 80 points. And I hope you'll get 100% on that, since you've already seen all the correct answers. So that's how the homework works. There'll be one homework due every Monday. So at the end of every week, you'll be doing the homework quizzes, and then it will be due that following Monday. There is one exception to that, and that is, I know that some of you may be a little bit late in getting your textbooks, and so you have 2 weeks to do the first modules, homework quizzes. So going down here, also in each module, there is an optional extra credit observing project. Now, these are optional. You don't have to do them. You can get 100% of the points possible in the course without doing a single observing project. But these are great to give yourself a little bit of a buffer to help raise your grade. And for each for each observing project that you do correctly, you get 1 point toward your final score out of 100. And if you do 10 of them, that gives you 10 points to add to your score, whatever it was, and that's a full letter grade. So by doing these observing projects, you can raise your grade by a full letter grade, but they are optional. Also, you'll find in each module an optional module discussion. That's a place where you can go in and ask questions. Your fellow students can see what the questions are. And I pop in every once in a while just to see how the discussions are going. But this is optional. Some semesters, a lot of people use this. Some semesters, only a few. So it's up to you to use that if you'd like. It's just a resource. Finally, there are some videos for you to watch and web pages to visit. There's some wonderful things online for you to watch, and I've tried to choose the very best of them to show you and to give you some more information about what you're studying in that module. So that's what the modules are like. Let's keep going down here through the syllabus. Communication. So you can communicate, as I said, you can send me an email, you can go into the module discussions so you're communicating with everybody. You can send me an email through the Canvas system, or you can send me an email at my Weber State email, bcarroll@weber.edu. And I check the mail several times a day, so you are just about guaranteed a very prompt answer. Zoom and Office meetings. If you want to meet with me personally and answer questions, or just to talk about astronomy, you can do that. If you want to do it through Zoom, just send me an email. We'll set up a time and day that work for you. And if you want to drop by my office, you can do that during office hours. But if you can't make those office hours, contact me and we can set up another time to meet in my office. Going down, we've come to exams here. Now, for each of those 4 sections of the course, there is going to be an exam. So there'll be an exam through modules 1 through 4, another one for modules 5 through 8, an exam for modules 9 through 11, and then your final exam is over modules 10 through 12. That doesn't sound right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There we go. I got it right. So that's how it works. So 3 exams and a final exam and a constellation quiz. Now the dates for the exams are given on the semester schedule and other places in the module. And I'll show you where those are a little bit later. And the final exam is not cumulative. It's just over modules 12, 13, and 14. So it's just like any of the other exams and counts the same as any of the other exams. Now, the exams are open book. You can use your book. You can use any of the material that's in the module, but no other resources are needed. I'll talk about math a little bit later, but I'll just tell you that most of the math is in the homework quizzes and not on the exams. So there might be a math question, but I'll work out the math for you on the exam. And all you have to do is choose the right way of working it. You won't even need a calculator, but if you want to have one handy, that's fine, just in case, but I don't think you'll need it. And nobody has ever complained about the level of math in the course. Now, the exception to that open book policy is the constellation quiz. I want you to know 14 constellations and 2 star clusters. And so the constellation quiz is closed book. It has 15 questions in it. The tests themselves have 35 questions each. So, and they're all multiple choice, by the way, on the regular exams. Those are multiple choice, as is the constellation quiz. Okay, most important, you can take each exam twice if you want to, including the constellation quiz. So after you take it the first time, you'll get your score and you'll see what questions you missed. After that, if you want to raise your score, you can go back, you can look up the answers to the questions you missed and take it again. And this time, if you do take it twice, I'll give you the average of your 2 attempts. If you just take it once, I'll just give you that single score. Going down here. Oh, I should say, people sometimes ask about study guides. Your homework quizzes are your study guides. You know, all the material that is on the exams come from your homework quizzes, and I always add a couple questions about the videos just to see if you're watching them. Really simple, basic questions. Don't take notes during the videos or anything. But so yeah, so let's keep on going here. Going down to the constellation quiz. Now, you should be able to recognize and identify 14 constellations and 2 star clusters, the Pleiades and the Hyades. And there's a constellation quiz folder on the homepage, and you can find a map of the constellations there. I'll show you those in a few seconds here. Finally, there is a signature assignment. This course is part of Weber State's general education program, and as such, all gen ed courses have to have a signature assignment. That's an assignment you have where you can reflect on what you learned in the course. And it's sort of a big question. And the big question for this course is going to be, how does an astronomer think about the universe? How does an astronomer think about the universe? And so I want you to write a short response to that, only 100 to 200 words. And the grading on that is all or nothing. If you take it seriously and just pretend you're telling a friend how an astronomer thinks about the universe. You know, don't tell me, don't try to figure out what you expect that I want to hear you say. Just tell a friend how an astronomer thinks about the universe, write it up. And if it's a serious attempt, you get full credit. If it's not a serious attempt, then you get nothing, no points. So it's all or nothing. And what would not a serious attempt mean? It would mean if you answered, I have no idea, I have no idea, I have no idea. And you wrote that down over and over again. So there were 200 words. And so that technically is 200-word response, but it's not what I was looking for. But if you make a serious shot at it, take a serious shot, then you'll get full credit. Okay. Math, I've already mentioned the math. It's important to know that astronomers use math in order to understand how the universe works, how things move, how things change through time, what it's all like. And so we're going to be seeing some of the math on the homework quizzes. So you should have a basic calculator, and there's a link to an online calculator on the course homepage that I'll show you. There's an appendix you can take a look at in the book. And at the end of the Module 1 introduction, there's some exercises to make sure you know how to use your calculator. Now, in those introductions, if there are calculations to be done on the homework quizzes, I always work an example in the module introduction for each module. So take a look at those. We're going to be using Planetarium software. I'll certainly be showing you those during my weekly videos that I make every Sunday. They'll be used in some of the observing projects, and it's free. You can download it here at stellarium.org. It is really cool, and I hope you enjoy using that. Finally, obligatory words. You know, academic dishonesty is strongly discouraged. Please be cool, don't do it. First time it happens, there's a grade of 0. And second violation is failure of the course. And sometimes people work together on an online course and they submit the same thing. And so it's fairly easy to detect. So please just be cool. And there's some other things here for you to read. I'll just go on to page 5 here. Here's the semester schedule. This tells you what you're going to be doing every week. So Module 1 will start August 30th through September 3rd. Here is the reading assignment, the preview in Chapter 1, pages 1 through 35. And it tells you when your homework is due. The first module homework is due September 13th. Same way, Module 2, those dates are September 6th through 10th. They involve Chapter 2 and Essay 1. Now, Essay 1 is not something you write. It's part of your text. It's something you read. Pages 36 to 69, and that's due on the 13th. And so on for all of the modules. You can see down below Module 4, here is Exam 1. That's held on September 27th through October 3rd and covers modules 1 through 4. Not chapters 1 through 4, modules 1 through 4. And so on down through the rest of the semester. So there's one module for every week. Now, you do get a break. If you are taking this fall semester, there is no homework due after the week of your Thanksgiving holiday. If you're taking this spring semester, there's no homework due. There's no module due the week after your spring break. And if you're taking it during the summer, well, I'm sorry, the summer semester is really 1 week shorter. There's no week-long break, and so you don't get a week off from the modules. I'm sorry about that. I didn't make up the schedule. Going on to page 6. Here is about grading. The homework total counts 25% of your grade. You have 3-hour exams and the final exam. Each one of those counts 15%. Constellation quiz is 10%, and your signature assignment is 5%. And all of those add up to 100%. And then down below that, there's your observing projects, which can count up to an additional 10%. Below that is a little equation I use for calculating your score. This is what the Canvas gradebook uses to calculate your score. And so you can read about how grades are calculated. And I grade on a curve. So at the end of the course, I take the course average score before the observing projects are assigned. I calculate that average, and if the average is below 80, then I add enough to everybody's score, the same amount to everybody's score, to lift everybody up. So the average is 80. If the average is above 80, I'm not going to subtract anything. I just give out more high grades. And so I do whatever is most advantageous to you. And then here is the scale for what letter grades go with what score. Finally, on the last page of the syllabus, here's some information about Weber State's general science education program and the mission statement and the learning outcomes for both natural science learning outcomes and physical science learning outcomes. So that is the syllabus. And let's get back now to the course homepage. There we go. Here's the course homepage. We've looked at the syllabus. And here are some important links down here. There's the syllabus we've just looked at. The semester schedule is just a schedule, the same schedule we just went through of what is due when. Here is the folder for the constellation quiz. And notice what you can do here. You can take a look, clicking that. Here is the sheet that has the diagram of the constellations on it. There it is. And you can see there's the list of constellations. And here are the constellations with the lines drawn connecting the stars within a constellation. Notice that these are not named, but you can go to these flashcards. These flashcards have, for the constellations you're concerned with, the name of the constellation, and there's what the constellation looks like. But you don't have to know how to spell the constellation. You don't have to know what bright stars are within the constellation. All you have to do is recognize. You have to recognize this is Bootes, this is Cygnus, this is Ursa Minor, and this is Pegasus. So I hope those help. I want to go back and continue down. Also, we have the Stellarium download that you've seen. Stellarium introduction. This is a video I made that gives you an introduction to using the Stellarium software. And so you can look at that. There it is. Here is the Desmos scientific calculator if you want to use that. So here's Desmos. I think some of you may have used this. You can also, it's really cool, you can just use Google for a calculator. If I go to Google.com, there it is. So if I want to multiply, for instance, let's say 3 times 10 to the 8th power, whoops, 8th power, I'm going to multiply that times, and let's say 8 times 10 to the 9th power. All I have to do is hit return, and it gives me the answer 1.2 times 10 to the 18th power. So pretty cool. Either one of those is just fine, or you can just use your own handheld calculator. Okay, so let's get out of that. And we will just go back to our home page here. So continuing down here, we come to Adobe Acrobat Reader, and I'm assuming that all of you have Adobe Acrobat Reader installed on whatever you're using to see the course. Now, finally, we come to 4 important points about this course. First of all, this is not a self-paced course. There are due dates for everything you have to submit. Second, You can take each exam, including the final and the constellation quiz, twice if you want to. Third, there is a required signature assignment that you will do near the end of the semester. And finally, if you want some extra credit, do some of the observing projects. Now, I want to go back up to the top here, and I want to show you the modules. So here is module 1. It will start out normally with a weekly video that I will make on the Sunday and let you know what's going on with the module and with astronomy, if there's any interesting discoveries. There's a welcome. And if you click the welcome, you find out that you see the due dates. So here's the due date for the homework quizzes, September 13th. The due date for the observing project, October 11th. That's a long way away because some of the observing projects only take, just a week. And some of them might take 6 weeks or 5 weeks. And so check here to see when they're due. And also this tells you when the first exam is going to be given. Let's go back. Here's the module 1 introduction. This is for the first module, and there's a little bit about terminology, astronomical units, light years. There's a bit about scientific notation. There is a bit about the terminology of science, words like fact, hypothesis, theory, and law. Those discussions aren't in your text, but I think they're important. And so I've put them here into the introduction for you to read, and you're responsible for those. Going on down, there's more about the phases of the moon. There's how to use a sky map, and I'll show you how to download those in just a few seconds. And there's some calculator exercises. Excuse me. So that's what's in your introduction. Now, here is your practice test for homework 1. Your practice, homework 1 practice, homework 1 retake. And you notice that underneath these are the due dates, September 13th for the homework quizzes, for the observing project, October 11th. And for an observing project, if you click on that, you find a description of what the observing project is about and some files that you'll need to do the observing project. When you're done, you can scroll down and there'll be a place below to attach a file to be uploaded. So you can upload a Word document or a word processing document, or you can upload a photo. You can take a photo of whatever you've written out. Please make sure it's in something that's easy to read, JPEG, PNG, something like that. So choose a good photo film format. You can upload them there. There are the optional discussion. Here's a video for you to watch. And if you click that, that will open the video. And usually you have to open these in a new window. So you just click open in a new window and the video comes up. And this is a pretty good one. This is about what the universe is like. It's a survey of the universe. So there we go. So we can close that. Morgan Freeman narrates it, so it's got to be pretty good. There's some other things here in the module. You should take a look at them all. Here's a phases of the moon demonstration. Phases of the moon are really, can be challenging to understand exactly how the relative positions of the sun, the earth, and the moon all combine so that the moon looks the way it does in the sky. And then finally, there's a sky map download, and you can open that in a new window, and here it is. You know, if you're going to go out on a camping trip or something and you want to take a sky map, this will give you the latest sky map. These are optional. They're just for your enjoyment, and I hope you'll use them. Go outside and use them. So there we go. And that's what's in the module. Same thing from module 2, module 3, module 4. And then after module 4, here's your first exam. And you'll click this to take the first exam. And here are the exam dates. Same thing for the rest of the modules, excuse me. Same thing for the rest of the modules. And all the exams are here. Here's exam 3. And when you get down to the very bottom, very end of the semester, you'll find your final exam, your constellation quiz, and the signature assignment. So that is how the course works. I hope you'll enjoy this course. I'm an astronomer. My PhD is in astrophysics, and I just love telling people about this wonderful universe that we live in. So I really hope you enjoy it. Please, communicate. If you have a question, please let me know. I'll be happy to either set up a Zoom meeting or we can meet in my office. And I'm really looking forward to this semester, and I hope you are too. So I will see you again on the next weekly videos. Until the next weekly video, bye-bye.